Hello and welcome to Quad Radio / Quad Video and soon to be FourWheelTalk.com. I'm Rodney Tomlin along with the ATV motocross champ Chad Wienen 5 times over. Chad, welcome to Quad Video and FourWheelTalk.com, and I guess we could say welcome to your place, man, in your neck of the woods. We're down here in Florida, beautiful sunshiny Florida. We're pre the Daytona Fly ATV Supercross. It's coming up here, I guess less than a week away from right now.
Sure.
And I don't know, man. I know a lot of folks are pretty excited. I'm excited from a fan standpoint, and watching you ride there earlier, I think you're pretty excited as well.
Yeah, thank you, Rodney. The winter's gone really well. I've been having a lot of fun here, a lot of good training and riding with friends, and we got less than a week to go, and it's going to be another intense year. They definitely don't get any easier, and a lot of hard work into this year, a lot of testing, and we're ready to go out and see what we can do this year.
I tell you, it's been a challenging career for you. I know from your aspect of it, you make it look so easy. I mean, whenever you look at the records, I mean, you haven't finished off an overall podium, I don't think, since before 2012, and people just don't realize how much hard work goes into making that happen. There's a lot of preparation in that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of preparation and just learning to know your limits, and riding to as the gate drops every time, and you don't have to be the first guy across the finish line every time to go out and win championships. And I've learned that throughout the years, where I would go out and push everything too hard and end up either hurting the machine or crashing myself. So just learning things along the way, and I'm still learning things today. So I'm really absorbing everything that I've learned throughout the years, and I've had my bumps along the road, and it's made me a better person and a stronger person as well.
Now, of the 5 championships so far, when you look back on it all, which one was the most difficult, do you think, to win?
I mean, honestly, I would say the first one, because it took me so long to get there. And then, everyone has its unique thing, and every year it's different. And like last year, Joel he had nothing to lose. He had to go out there and try and win as many races as he could to try and bridge the point gap. And I just had to go out there and keep him from doing that. And I didn't have to go out there to go out and win races. So I just had to be on the box every time and continue to keep my points lead. This year, it's going to be a clean slate, and I don't see him making the same mistake twice. So it's going to be in a very intense year, and not just Joel. It's going to be Jeffrey's getting some wind, and Thomas, and who knows? Like people can put in good hard work throughout the year, and I've done that before myself, and you can go out there and turn some heads, and I just feel like it's going to be a full gate of pros that are going to be hungry, and this first race is always intense because it's at tight quarters, and it's not our normal race layout, so it's definitely always learning something there. And like last year, getting the win there, it was great, and this year we're gonna see what happens, see if we can get another W.
Now, I know last year, you came into the season with a game plan. After Daytona, it had to change up a little bit with Joel's injury and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. The Texas race, I went out there and won one, and I knew that, Joel, and, I felt very, very confident. I like that track there in Texas, and, it's just one of those things, you ride to the competition, and, this year we're prepared, and, we're going to be right where we want to be, I believe.
I guess the question that I would think right now is that, are you looking at this quite possibly, not only because of Joel, but you mentioned it, Jeffrey, Thomas, and there's some other names that could probably surprise us this year. Do you think that this one might be one of the more challenging ones so far?
Yeah, I mean, I would strongly believe that, and, we need at least 5-6 guys that can go out there and win races. And with Joel and myself really elevating our training, and Jeffrey, he started to get with it, and Thomas, he has it there too, and Upperman, those like Janusa, there's gonna be guys that are gonna have their moments, have their races, get their starts, and it's gonna be difficult, and I'm ready for the challenge. I've been putting in the work, and I got a great team behind me to get me across that finish line.
Now, there's been a lot of changes, not in your program this year, but I mean, if you listen and pay attention to what's going around the ATV motocross community, there's been a lot of changes this past year. Do you think any of those changes are going to affect you in any way? I mean, even though it's not with your program, do you think that all those teams, the way everything is shuffled around, you think it's going to be affecting the competition, I guess is the best way to ask that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's always, I mean, people can update their programs and get better products where they might have been lacking a little bit in the past year and pick up speed. And, you know, also, I mean, my program, there's only, like out of our mechanic crew, I mean, Nate, he's pursuing a career in street bikes, and Mike Bard from Walsh Racecraft, he'll be picking up the wrenches for me this year, and Mike Walsh will be, he's always been there, so it's gonna be another grueling year with, you know, and we have a new truck driver, Ron Taylor, so it's we've changed a lot of personnel on our end too, but, you know, we feel like we've, you know, made strides in good places. So I mean, it affects everything, and you got to have the good people around you.
And that's something that you seem to always be able to achieve, man. I mean, even when you first started the Wienen Motorsports program, that's where you started out on top. And I mean, there's been a few shifts throughout the program, but it seems like you keep remaining to keep the right people in the right places at all the right times.
Oh yeah, definitely. And, you know, handpicked the team, you know, that we wanted to have around us, and we, you know, honestly, from day one, we haven't changed much at all. And that's just a testament of the people that we work with and the products that they make, and all the good things they bring to the table. And, you know, that's what a team's all about.
Yeah, and you somehow or another got the magic combination right off the bat, but it was trial and error. You knew what you wanted to do whenever you started with the Wienen Motorsports program, right?
Yep, definitely. And you know, it's still building, and it's one of those things where it's getting to the point where you need more personnel. You need more time in the day. So I mean, it's
you need a bigger
thing.
entourage.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's a great thing, and you know, I'm very thrilled, you know, with this year, and, you know, we got the new president in office, and hopefully, you know, we can really get back to where our roots really were with the ATV racing, and really, you know, rebuild, you know, what we used to have, and get people excited about racing ATVs again.
That's awesome, man. I mean, and I think with it, if any of the things that I've seen recently anyway, with race numbers and everything, hopefully Daytona will reflect the same thing. If not, at least in Texas and the rest of the ATV Motocross Championship Series. But I've seen some phenomenal turnouts late last year and early into this year. We've had some great turnouts in that, so hopefully we're going to get to see that working. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, Wienen Motorsports is not just a race team. I mean, you guys are a full-on business. I mean, you build quads like this right here and for other individuals, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have like mechanics on hand that, you know, will build a race machine, like a replica of what I have here, and you know, we sell all the, our grand scheme is to give the riders the parts that we run, and, you know, give them the best opportunity to go out there and, you know, achieve the goals that they want, and, you know, and it's really building, so that's an exciting thing, and it takes years to get to where we're at, and you know, we're always learning new things and update. You know, guys are starting to make new products again, and that's an exciting thing.
It is. I'm pretty excited about what's going on in the aftermarket side of things as well, and with the UTV explosion and stuff. Now, I know that Walker Fowler, a fellow Yamaha rider of yours, is kind of dabbling in the UTV side of things. Is that something that you've thought about in the future?
No. I mean, I really haven't. I mean, I love riding my Yamaha YFZ 450R, and, you know, they say with age comes a cage, and, you know, I just don't feel like I'm quite there yet. So I mean, I'm still having a blast riding my quad and you know, racing with all the guys. So
that's awesome. Now, talk a little bit about this off season. I mean, you look back on it again, it looks like it was one of the more challenging ones, but it was one of the more controlled championships I think I've seen out of about any champion I've ever watched win one, and you played your cards just right. So what's the mindset heading into the winter? You know that the game plan's got to change. You got to go back to the mindset you were a year before that, knowing that everything's tied up heading into the first round. So with that, what's taking place this winter? What have you done to get yourself prepared for this year?
I mean, just kind of kept in my same things. You know, we have my track down here in Florida. You know, and we stayed back home until the holidays were over, and enjoying the family time while everybody's there, and migrated down south to Florida here in Daytona Beach, and I've been really working on strengthening. I'm a bigger guy and long legs, so it's tough getting up and down off the seat a lot, and worked on strengthening my legs and my shoulders, and for my injuries, it's like I'm not completely fully strength from breaking my back 5+ years ago, and
wow.
I'm always trying to make the gains and try and get back to my full strength, and I just feel like there's always gains to be made there, and so I mean.
So you're nowhere near the ceiling of what you think your potential is yet. You still keep climbing then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like I can keep climbing, and it's a controlled thing. You don't want to be out there pushing yourself too hard and burning yourself out. So it takes years to build the foundation and keep building it one layer at a time.
So if this is just the foundation, what are we building here? I mean, you become eventually possibly the winningest ATV motocross champion of all time with the most championships, and you're well on track to that. You're a few years away from that, but I think you've already smashed a bunch of other records. But I mean, this foundation you're building, where does it go after that, man? I mean,
I don't make plans for like the future, and I always say the day that I don't have fun is the day that I hang up my boots, and I'm still having a blast, and I don't try to go out and achieve any sort of record or anything like that. I just try to. I always feel like I can never get enough. Nothing's ever quite good enough yet. So I still have that hunger in me, and
so not ready to take on any proteges just yet and start grooming them, huh?
No, I mean we have been. It's just it's tough to find a 100% dedicated rider, and we have a lot of friends, and it's hard to groom somebody else when you're still trying to groom yourself.
Well, you are a young married man, so you're just going to have to make your own, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the best way to go about that. But Chad, making your own. What are we going to make your own here at Daytona ATV Supercross next week? What can we expect out of it?
Well, I mean, you can expect for me to give it 100%, and I'm not going to go out there and push the cards above my potential. So starts are going to be key. I got to be on point there, and I just feel like I got my preparation in. I got the machines ready. So I mean, I think the whole team is ready to go out there and have a good showing and get out of there safe, and just have a lot of fun.
Had some good experiences there. The first year you came away a little short, and that was the one you really wanted to win bad. I remember the rumor was, and we found out later it wasn't true, but you were mad enough to run all the way from the speedway back to your house about 3 or 4 miles away. Is that a fuel that continues to burn the fire of desire for you to win this ATV Supercross?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know the potential that I'm at, and when I don't ride to my potential, I mean, it'll burn you. So you gotta learn to control things, control your emotions, and that being the first race ever there, I wanted to go out there. I came with the red plate. I wanted to leave with the red plate. I mean, it's the same sort of thing this year, but I know that I'm not going to win the championship at Daytona, and I can lose it. But
that's been proven.
Yeah, so,
for sure.
And
or at least a chance anyway.
Yeah, and it's just I got to be ready for anything.
Yep.
And the first year it made me I learned a lot of things from that one race.
Right.
Coming out of the LCQ and still getting on the box was a good feat, but I still felt like I had more in me.
Good.
So this year, we're just gonna go out there and do our thing and have a good time, and the end result it'll be what it is.
And I'm sure that you're thinking that you're going to be right in the center of the box, and rightfully so, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you're putting the work in, right?
Yeah, we're putting the work in, and we feel stronger going into. Like, I feel more prepared this year than I was last year.
Now you've got your own place here now. Does that possibly, being in Florida, is this giving you an edge now because you've got a consistent place to ride all the time?
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like it does, and it's been warm down here. I mean, today is a nice day, and you got to ride in those elements. And this being in Daytona, where we reside from down here, and it feels like a home race. I got my family here, and grandparents, my father, Mama Dina. I'm looking forward to having the atmosphere around us again, and I've got some friends that are coming out, that know me down here, and it'll be really cool to go out there and try and get a W for them.
No doubt, and that's another thing that I want to point out about you, Chad, is that you're very family oriented in this. I mean, the whole family's involved, or at least a part of it in some way, shape, or form. They're there behind you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't call it a straight up moto family or anything like that. Like, I mean, my dad, he worked a lot, but he made it out to, he always tried to make it all to the races. I mean, he didn't pick up wrenches with me, but now he's getting, he likes to come in and jump in and help, and grandpa, grandma, Mama Dina cleaning my helmets and goggles and stuff like that. It's a great thing to have that kind of support, and I got grandparents and my dad staying down here for about 2 weeks, and it makes it feel like home.
And from what I understand, being away from home for 2 weeks for your father is a pretty big deal, right?
Oh yeah. He doesn't get away too much, and I feel like the only time he really gets away is come watch me race. So, and that's a huge blessing to me, and I feel like very proud, and I feel like it's a great thing.
You're a very blessed individual. I know I was talking with your grandfather. He's in his upper 80s, pushing close to 90 years old, and that's an amazing thing. And he still works, still mows grass, I understand.
Oh, yeah, he's on it, and like to think, one day I can, be as active as he is at his age, and he doesn't like being told what to do. He's a unique man, and he knows what he wants.
I see you get a lot of those qualities from him, Chad.
Oh, yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. And go out there and the hard work, and you can't lose that trait. You can't just sit still. So
that's awesome. Well, Chad, I want to wish you all the luck in the world, man.
Thank you.
Good luck on championship number 6, and good luck with Daytona win number 2 coming at you. I know it's a lot of weight on your shoulders, man, and I'm as big a fan of the sport as anybody, and I just can't wait to see what the year holds, bud.
Yeah, we're excited, and go out and have fun, and see what happens.